So today, Year 8s, what we'll do is look at mixed operations problems. So basically the way to think about this lesson is like kind of putting it all together. So here's the classic problem that you might have encountered in Year 7 or Year 6 whenever you encountered it. So we've got 3 plus 2 times 5. Now the mistake many students will make, or even some adults, will be to actually do the operations in order left to right, which kind of makes sense. Okay, that's the way we usually do things, moving left to right. But actually, there's an order that's specified in maths that you have to do problems. So for this problem here, we'd have to do the multiplication first. So that's going to be 3 plus 2 times 5, which is 10. And 3 plus 10 is 13. And note the working out that we've got 2 operations in it. So we need 2 lines of working out. Now to test that out on the calculator, this isn't the same calculator you've got, but it's very similar, so it'll work the same way. We're going to do 3 plus 2 times 5, and you'll see that the calculator knows the order of operations as well. So here's the summary of the order of operations. You might have heard it called BODMAS or BEDMAS or whatever it is. The way I think about it is this. I've got B and DM and AS. Now what we do is we do brackets first, then division or multiplication, whichever one comes first, moving left to right, and addition or subtraction, whichever one comes first, moving left to right. So I kind of try to remember it using this diagram here. So for your notes, what I'm going to get you to do is write the heading in mixed operation problems, have a heading order of operations, and pop this in, okay, where you might want to define B as brackets, D and M as division or multiplication, and AS as addition or subtraction. Alright, so you might think we did this last year, but what we'll do now is take what we know about integers that are either positive or negative and apply the same idea. So here we've got 12 and 4 being added, but 4 is being divided by -2. Okay, so what we're going to do is put our equal sign in. So we always write the full question, we put our equal sign in, and we work down the page. Right, so for emphasis, and you don't need to do this, but I'm going to bracket the thing that has to get done first, because again, this says that we have to do the division or multiplication first, whichever comes first from left to right, and then addition or subtraction. So I'm going to do 12 plus 4 divided by -2. Now a positive divided by a negative, there goes my dog, just going to pause this. Alright, so we've got a positive 4 divided by a -2, so we're going to do 12 plus, and the result of this is going to be a negative, and 2 goes into 4 2 times. So this is 12, and we're going to add -2. When we add a negative, that's the same as subtracting. So it's 12, take away 2, and that is going to be 10. So notice that to do this particular problem, as opposed to the first example here, which I used 2 lines of working out, this time I'm going to do 3 lines of working out, because I'm just going to change that add a negative to be a subtraction. Alright, to do that on the calculator, again it's not the same as yours, but it will work in a very similar way. I'm going to type in 12 plus 4, whoops, that's not a 4, 4 divided by, excuse me, -2, and we get 10. Alright, so for the next example, let's have a look at this one here. So what I can see is we've got 5 times -2, we're removing 4, and we're multiplying by -2. So what I'm going to do first is this multiply. Alrighty, so I've got a positive times a negative, which will give me a negative. 5 times 2 is 10, and I rewrite the rest. Alright, now what I'm going to do is do this. I'm going to subtract positive 4 times negative 2. So I've got a positive times a negative, which will give me a negative. So I'm going to write down subtract and then negative 8. Alrighty, then what I'm going to do is go negative 10 subtract negative 8 is negative 10 plus 8, because when I subtract a negative, it's the same as adding. Now, starting at negative 10, moving 8 spots to the right on the number line, I'm going to be left at negative 2. So there's our answer to that one. Now, there's another way of doing that problem, so I'm just going to rewrite it and just show you something different. So I'm just going to do this one first of all again. So 5 times negative 2 is negative 10, and rewrite the rest. Now, what I can also do is work out the answer to this one here, which is negative 4 times negative 2. So I can do that in that way as well. So this is negative 10, and the answer to this is going to be negative times a negative is a positive. 4 times 2 is 8. Then I've got negative 10 plus 8 is negative 2. So there's a few variations on the working out that are totally acceptable. So I only show you both versions just in case you're working with someone and they show you something slightly different. It's not really anything too different, it's the same thing. Alright, so the final problem I'll show you is this one here. So we've got an addition, we've got a division and a multiplication. So the brackets will tell us that we have to do this addition first. So I'm going to write down negative 20 divided by, and we're going to do negative 3 plus 7. So that is 4. So I'm going to go 4 times negative 2. Alright, now I have to do the division first because it's division or multiplication, whichever one comes first, moving left to right. So I'm going to do a negative divided by a positive is a negative, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. And I just rewrite the rest of the problem. Now I've got a negative multiplied by a negative, which is a positive, and 5 times 2 is 10. You can write that as positive 10 or just 10, it doesn't really matter. So as you go through the bookwork, highly recommend using your calculator, so practicing your calculator skills. So I'll just show you this last one on the calculator. We're going to do negative 20. So you're just looking for similar keys on your green calculators, divided by brackets, negative 3 plus 7, close your brackets, multiply by negative 2. And we've got 10. So yeah, practice your calculator skills there, and as you look through the email, you'll see the link to this video here, and under that you'll see the worksheet and exercises I want you to practice. Good luck with it.